Hey, it's Leslie Stokes with the Northern Miner. I'm downtown today with Mining Clips at the Sprott conference. And I'm here with mercenary geologist Mickey Fulp. How's it going, Mickey?
Hi, Leslie.
Good
it's
to
going
see
well.
you. Yeah?
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us today. So we were having a little bit of a chat before about base metals. We saw copper hit a 15-month high. And I just wanted to ask you, what's behind that drive, and can we expect it to keep going?
Low stockpiles, strong demand, supply disruptions this year with big strikes in Chile and ongoing strike, partial shutdown at Grasberg, so taking supply off. But it's about time, the hedge funds moved in February of 2016, or probably March by the time they moved into the base metal space, and they were contrarian and they were way too early, and they moved out this February, and the metals went back down, and now we've seen them start to come back in, and good numbers. And copper had been bouncing, range-bound, bouncing against very strong resistance at somewhere in the low 270s for months. And it finally passed it this week, and we're all excited about it because, that resistance at, let's say, 275 was a big impediment. So the next resistance looks to me to be at $3, and if we get there, then we're at 330, and then everything breaks loose because that's kind of the magic number for new copper developments.
Wow, yeah, I guess so. And then for companies specifically, what kind of deposit type would probably attract the most interest in the beginning legs of a copper bull market?
Well, of course, porphyry coppers will, but there's not that many good ones. There's a bunch of low-grade ones. So, you're a geologist. We both know that grade is king. Every good geologist knows that grade is king. So I look for grade, and, I think I cover a company has two of the best, if not the two best undeveloped copper deposits in the world, and that's Trilogy Metals in northwest Alaska.
Oh, right, okay.
And we're very happy with that. We picked it in the end of May at about 65 cents. It hit $1.22 this morning. Didn't stay there. I think it closed at $1.14, but that's like 70% return in 2 months.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
That's not bad, Mickey. Well done. So what about the other base metals like zinc and nickel, and what are they looking like?
Well, I'm not probably as bullish on nickel, although with all this geopolitical intrigue going on in the Philippines, we could be faced with supply shortage of nickel. Duterte, I think is the way he says, he's going to tax the miners to death, he said yesterday. Oh. So in the Philippines, that really amounts to nickel miners. So nickel production is basically at a standstill in Indonesia with regard to the processing country sort of scenario they want. So that's been replaced with the Philippines. So maybe nickel, but I'm not really a nickel guy. It's a relative small market. I am now a zinc guy, as you know, and zinc looks quite boisterous for the midterm, say next 2 to 3 years. It's been hanging around that $1.25 to $1.30 range. Hasn't kind of broken out of that, but when it does break, if and when it does break out of that range, I think you'll see that market go onward and upward too.
And we were also talking about iron ore earlier, and you said that we've seen a bit of a kick up in iron ore prices.
Yeah.
So, collectively when we look at the movement of base metals, there's always catalysts behind it, like you said, good economic growth maybe in China. What is going to happen in the future to really help propel those metals forward to keep it more sustainable?
Well, I think we need good demand from China, but we see tightening of supply. There's mixed feelings among analysts about the iron ore market. Banks are very negative, and everybody else is probably pretty positive about iron ore. Coking coal has had some really volatile times this year, as has iron ore. Iron ore was $53 a ton in mid-June, and now it's at 70. So $70 a ton probably not going to get anybody real excited, but we had this 5 to 6 year downturn in commodities. That's a normal length of a down cycle. So now it's time for a bull market cycle.
So do you think that the better bet right now is to invest in gold or invest in base metals? Where would you want to put your money?
Well, I'll tell you where I am putting my money, and it's in both.
Yeah.
So I've done some new gold deals. Did a new zinc deal, did a new uranium deal, got involved with Trilogy, a new copper deal for me, although it's been around a long time and I've actually visited it before. But, so spread it around a little bit. For me, it's this idea that we are in an incipient bull market for commodities, and you want to spread your wealth around a little bit. Kind of the idea you never put more than 5 or 10% of your speculative dollars in any stock. I own 35 juniors right now.
Wow.
And
Great.
so spread them around, do the math. That's what 3% per company. Now, it doesn't always work that way, but
Well, thanks, Vicki, so much. And if you want some more information on Mickey, just get online, mercenarygeologist.com.
thanks a lot,
Easy
Leslie.
as that. See ya.